I called it wrong in 2012. I thought the economy was going to crash in 2012. They invented a thing called quantitative easing. They didn't teach us that in Economics 101 at graduate school, nor did they teach us about zero and negative interest rate policy. They could come up with anything. The money people are in charge. Anybody that thinks they have a government of we the people, they're still being taught in kindergarten to K-12 and graduate school. That's who's in control of the government. But now, let's go back to the facts. We had the BS from Janet Yellen. Oh, by the way, taken over by the Federal Reserve because she was the head of the Fed and now our Treasury Secretary, along with the guy playing the Fed head, Powell, going on for almost 2 years. Celente, you're full of baloney, and so are you other people. There is no inflation. It's only temporary. No. It's only transitory. They lied about it. They knew it was real.
Well, they're going to be raising interest rates on the economic front. In the middle of December, they were saying that, well, they're not going to raise them until mid-March, or mid-year, rather. I see it happening earlier. I said, what a bunch of baloney this is. They're shooting at this crap that, oh, inflation's only temporary. And then it went to transitory. So they were either too stupid to know where it was going, or they knew where it was going, which I believe they did, and they're artificially keeping the cheap money flowing in, because when interest rates go up and the cheap money flow stops, the economy is going to go down and the equity markets are going to crash. Look at the insider trading. They're selling out now big time. It's like $69 billion. Meantime, stock buybacks are hit an all-time high because they're getting the money for nothing, buying back the stock so it looks like there's less of them available, and keep artificially pushing the prices up. Look at merger and acquisition activity, all-time high, cheap money. When you look at the real interest rate, what was the inflation rate that just came out? What was it, 6.8%? Oh, and what is the Fed rate? Oh, near zero? So what am I, stupid? You got negative interest rates. It's only going to go down worse. You look at all these mandates that are happening around the world. How could the markets keep going up? It's GSB, gold, silver, and Bitcoin. And they're going to go down when interest rates go up, but the economy is going to go down too. So they're going to go down temporarily, and then they're going to escalate very rapidly as people realize how bad it is. And the only thing that's keeping people from seeing, again, we talked about inflation rate, what's the facade that's making it look like everything is okay are the equity markets. When the equity markets crash, reality will hit Main Street.
It's going to go down deep in the first 3 months of 2023. However, you cannot forecast what they're going to do. It's a guessing game regarding the Feds, because let's go back to December 2018. The markets are going down really sharp. Donald Trump put extreme pressure on Jerome Powell to lower interest rates. Just before that, going back into November, Powell said they weren't going to raise interest rates. They did. He said Powell came back in early January giving the message that they were going to lower interest rates. So the power of the president is very strong. And again, the financial business, they're the ones that run the show, the BlackRocks and the Blackstones and all the private equity groups that are in charge. If they put pressure on the Fed to lower interest rates, they're going to do it. It's not about we the people. It's about the ones running the show. The reason they're keeping the inflation numbers artificially low, if you're comparing this to 1982 inflation, if you use the same
index that they used in 1980, inflation would be at 15%. They're keeping it low so they don't have to raise interest rates. And number two, because when inflation goes up, so too does Social Security. So why give the little people of Slavelandia more money? We'll artificially keep the inflation rate down. So your real inflation rate's around 15%. And by the way, there's an end game to this. And the way we see it is they're going to start doing away with all the currencies and coming up with new names for them, and they're all going to be digital. They're going to be digital. We're getting rid of them dirty dollars. You don't want to touch that crap, so we're going digital. Now they'll know every penny that you spent, where you spent it, who you gave it, on and on and on. So the politicians, politics, got it? Politics, many ticks, could suck that money out of you. Do you think any of these people, these politicians that are closing down every place, give a damn about the people that are losing their jobs when they don't have to worry about anything? Because they steal our money in the name of taxes, and they get their benefits, they get their money coming in, they have their health care, they got their pensions. So they're going to go digital. So now let's put it all together. We're looking at what happened and why it happened. So when they began the COVID war, they locked down everything, stay at home, you can't go to work, but hey, here's some cheap money for you. Here, go on. Shut up. Here's some money. You got a business here. We're going to give you money. Oh, we're going to print, we're going to go to zero in negative interest rates. Well, they stayed on negative interest rates, what, in Europe for how many years? Oh, only 8. In the United States, zero interest rate policy. The market should have crashed in 2020. No, we had a real estate boom. They're going to do anything they can to control our lives. So, in the United States, what do you have? You have inflation rate at 7.1, and you have a 4.5, 5. You're still in negative territory. So here's what they're going to do. This is going to be the year we believe that we're going to start seeing going from dirty cash to digital trash. They're going to make up something new. And that's the way they're going to get out of this thing. Look at the United States. Just passed a $1.7 trillion budget when you have a $30.1 trillion deficit? They're going to make something up. Here, the Russians just hacked our banking system. You can't get your money out. But don't worry about it. We're coming up with a new currency. They'll make up anything.